Okay, I'm back. Totally has not been like 3 seconds after I click stop recording and start recording again, you know? So, on to it. I have this still fresh in my head for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's because it's been, 30 seconds, but let's continue. Dr. Tambo Ryoko has never had a more troublesome patient. Oh, she's hot. What? Any changes since your last visit? Oh, I read that. I guess I could read them. Nah. I like the voice acting. His voice is hard and flat, his words tossed carelessly into the air. It's like he's speaking to himself in an empty room. Ryoko is a surgeon, not a psychiatrist, but even she can sense the thickness of the wall he has erected between himself and the world. Well, you're not being exactly empathetic with your questions. I guess maybe you've been through this before and you're kind of sick of it. Oh, Sakisaka appears to be looking at Ryoko. His gaze is actually aimed a fraction down on and to the side. He's only superficially engaged in the conversation, when in truth it does not interest him in the slightest. Perfect rejection. Realizing that she can't interview him like this, Ryoko sighs and sets her chart aside. This answers a lot of questions, but it asks a few more. Brain problems, I assume. He's fucked up now. Okay, honestly, the intro really made it seem like it was kind of the end of the story, and it was going to be a flashback after that for the whole events. But no, this is just straight up the beginning. I can't see any good happening in this story unless they figure out a way to fix his head physically. I'm worried. I don't like bad endings. Well, let's hope for the best. Treatment of subdural it's hematoma through the use of micromachine. Oh, it's nanomachines, son. Through the use of micromachines, a procedure available in Japan exclusively here. Interesting. At T University had been the only way to save Sakisaka Fuminori from a cerebral contusion that should have been fatal. Man, I don't know what cerebral contusion is. It's not a concussion, but it looks like it's similar. Maybe it's just a misspelling. Let me look it up. But I knew the other things. I have medical knowledge. Kind of. Contusion is a bruise. It's literally just a hematoma. Subdural hematoma. So his brain was bleeding and bruising. So micro machines, interesting. I mean, very normal. Actually, not normal, but futuristic slightly. I say we have this in like 10 years, right? I don't know medical science. I don't know where it's going. But this doesn't seem like it could fuck him up. Maybe the way they did it. It is an experimental treatment. It is kind of scary now that I think about it. What if you like go into brain surgery and you come out and reality is just different? Sakisaka Fuminori's lips twist slightly in what might be a bitter or mocking smile, but it is gone before Ryoko can discern its meaning. Do you think he's come to the same conclusion himself, that it's the surgery that messed up his head and reality's normal? I don't know. Yeah. So wait, so other people have gotten this surgery before? Imagine if they look normal to him. Hence these weekly checkups. If only he would take them a little more seriously. Sakisaka asks abruptly, as if to catch Ryoko off guard. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. That's actually what it stands for? Makes sense. Is a way for doctors to examine the brain in detail without opening the patient's skull. Surprised by Sakisaka's uncommon technical knowledge. Is that uncommon? No, I think everyone knows what an MRI is. Ryoko recalls his profile. Oh, he's a medical student. Oh, he's gotta know it. Well, that it's the brain surgery that's messing him up, at least, right?
先生が心配しているような脳機能不全は画像診断だけでも十分にわかるはずですよね。何か異常は
Not necessarily, I think. The brain is a little more complicated than, ooh, it looked different, something must be different, right? Yeah. There was nothing, not the slightest hint of abnormal activity. I guess activity could be different. For a procedure with such a low rate of success, the results have been nothing short of miraculous. I like this. However, something still bothers Ryoko. She can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something beneath his guarded exterior. Some terrible weight on his soul, perhaps. Can he just explain it? I guess he doesn't want to go to a psych facility. I get that. But if it's an inorganic problem, then there's nothing she can do as long as he refuses to explain it. Yeah. Man. I don't like your acceptance of all this. I would try to pursue a solution even if it meant worse outcomes, honestly. I don't know how you can live in this situation. Maybe it's done more than just affected his reality, maybe it's affected his decision making too? Kinda scary. Ryoko answers, smiling to cover up her irritation. Sakisaka asked exactly the same question during last week's visit. And what did he say? Dr. Ogai? Unable to answer, Ryoko hardens the mask of her smile. As before, the patient is inquiring about someone whom he has no business knowing. Okay. I mean, I don't know either, so let's see. Ryoko is used to patients treating her with hostility. Some degree of paranoia is natural when dealing with a person whose mistakes could kill you. Actually, yeah. You know, that's reasonable. Understandable. Yeah. In Sakisaka, however, she doesn't see the anxiety that other patients exhibit. His demeanor is perfectly calm, almost like a detective questioning a suspect. He's probably done with his bullshit. Like, think about it. If your reality was like that for 3 months, just like everything is just fucked up, I think he's just kind of done. Either that or more brain problems. Maybe like he had a lobotomy or something, you know, something's cutting off. Actually, no, they would notice something like that, though. They would notice the brain patterns being different for that. I don't know. It's really hard to tell what's wrong with him other than the altered reality. It could just be he's like this, making it all the more worse. Okay. Ryoko answers smoothly, her earlier hesitation gone. Having decided at the outset to lie, she has no trouble doing so with a straight face. It's just gonna cause more problems. Actually, I want to know. Even if he doesn't tell her, I want to know. Oh, he's gone missing? Alright, how would you know? Ryoko realizes that her answer may have been a little too quick. She should have acted more surprised. It's true. Oh. Okay. Really normal. Relative. Ryoko considers this with a frown. Does he not have any relatives?
外教授に縁者の方はおられないはずですが、
おお、誰から聞きました？
それは噂話に。
Ryoko replies, remembering that she just claimed to have had no contact with the man. Liar versus liar, let's see who wins.
そんなことが噂になる程度には、大貝教授は有名人だったわけですね。
まあ一風変わった人だったみたいですね。
なのに、誰も彼が大学を辞めた理由を知らないと。
Ryoko falls silent, knowing that this isn't a topic she can brush away with a smile. Sakisaka seems to have finally grasped her mood, however, as his strangely stiff tone softens a
先
little.
生、僕はどうしても大貝教授に会わなきゃならないんです。彼
Okay.
がいなくなったせいで、行く当てがなくなり困っている子がいるんです。
There's so much I don't
力になってもら
know.
えませんか？
Is that the girl on the cover? Is it Saya?
それはむしろ警察の領分なんじゃないかしら。
Although she makes it sound like the most obvious thing in the world, the suggestion is actually a gamble. If Ogai Masahiko's disappearance becomes a police matter, then the university will be investigated. Everyone who is involved in the incident will be at risk of exposure. Incident? What happened? And of course, that includes Ryoko herself. Okay. Wait, wait, what did she do? She knows, however, that Sakisaka is unlikely to go to the police. First of all, his excuse is obviously a lie. They already made sure that Ogai had no relatives who might come looking for him. What the fuck is going on? Which is why they could bury the truth of what happened? But then how did Sakisaka, a mere patient, learn about Ogai?
崎坂さん、
I'd be happy to help, but there's been no word from Dr. Ogai since he resigned last April.
大貝教授は
Oh,
今年の
she's saying
4
that.
月に辞表を出して以後は何の音信もないんです。どこか長期の旅行にでも行かれたか、その程度しか想像つきません。
そうですか。
Standard vacation. Interesting way of putting it. Expecting resistance, Hiroko is surprised when Sakisaka backs down. He seems smart. I don't know what he knows though, so I can't really tell what he's trying to accomplish. She's still worried about his condition, and the mysterious link between him and Ogai is only making her more uneasy. Maybe he sees things that no one else can see too? Is this sixth sense? But as long as he doesn't open up to her, there's nothing she can do. But honestly, I think he doesn't want to open up to her because he knows she's hiding something as well. After a brief pause, Ryoko writes progress good on Sakisaka's chart for today.
崎坂さん、それでは来週の診察ですが、今日と同じ4時でも。
Oh, before she could finish, Sakisaka is gone. Oh! Oh boy, his reality. It looks like someone sprayed the walls with pig guts from ceiling to floor. What color should the walls of a hospital be? White, of course. And to the creatures of rotten flesh shambling around me, I'm sure this hallway looks just as white as it should. Okay, so he knows. He knows that he is seeing it wrong. I know intellectually the walls are white. I know that the flesh beasts are really human. Okay. I'm the one with the problem, and it's because I've accepted this that I'm able to lead something approaching a normal life. Understandable. Perfect. That makes perfect sense to me. Okay. I still wouldn't want to. I'd still want to do something about it, but there's got to be a reason why you're not talking to the doctor more about it. Even if my university's medical department is nowhere near as good as T University, I'm still a medical student specializing in neurology. Okay, he knows. I have a basic idea of what has happened to me, though it's hard to believe. Okay, I actually want to hear this. This isn't a pathological condition. It's probably some form of agnosia. Unlike anything has ever been studied before. What's agnosia? No idea, actually. Hold on. Let me look that up. Agnosia. Neural disorder process. Okay. It's just literally this. He doesn't see things correctly. It's a sensory thing. Is this purely sensory? I don't know. The flesh beast called Tanbo Ryoko said that other patients had developed neurological disorders after receiving the same treatment I did. So I guess I'm just another failure. It makes me want to laugh in that know-it-all doctor's face. Okay, is that what you want to what, is that why you want to know? I said I don't blame the doctors who operated on me. After all, I do owe them my life. I know as well as anyone how low the chance of success was, and that I had no other hope of survival. Would you want to live like this, though? That's the thing. But I guess you have some unfinished business, if anything. As dark as that sounds. But yeah, I get that. Oh, jeez. I was unlucky. That's all there is to it. The point is that my condition isn't treatable. You know what this really reminds me of in a strange way? Karawa Shoujo. Like, the vibes are different, but just the... not aesthetic, but just the deep themes and, like, seriousness of it. Especially, like, the beginning. I never finished that game. I really should. But it's a weird comparison, but I have not played many visual novels. So that's, like, the only one I can really come up with. Because, like, Steins Gate kind of has, like, the seriousness to it. Because there's, like, two types of visual novels. There's, like, the serious, like, deep story that's, like, really not meant to be a visual novel. It should be a novel, like Steins Gate, like all that. It just somehow becomes a visual novel out of sheer its peak. It's just funny. I like that. And then there's, like, the romance visual novels, you know, the standard ones. I like these types ones, though. So I am definitely playing this. Hell yeah. I was unlucky. That's all there is to it. The point is that my condition isn't treatable. Do you know that? Just like someone adapting to a hearing aid or wheelchair, I have no choice but to adapt to this nauseating scenery. So, does it affect auditory as well? Because it sounds like it does. From the beginning. Because, like, maybe he could adjust to it visually, but maybe not auditorily at the same time. Of course, it's hard. It wasn't easy to resign myself to this fate, I would think. But now there's more than just despair, even for me. There's a glimmer of hope. Okay, this is why he's still going. Keeping my eyes on my feet, I hurry home. Do you think this doctor knows how to fix you? I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in a house that's much too large for me alone. My parents, even unluckier than I was, died in the accident 3 months ago. Oh, yeah. I couldn't even go to the funeral for being in intensive care. Damn, they couldn't wait? Or maybe they thought you were gonna die. But still, the hell? They couldn't, like, unless you, like, no, their bodies were probably pretty fucked up. They probably didn't have, like, a casket or anything. It was probably like a funeral in, just in a celebration rather than with, like, I mean, they could have, I say celebration, but you know what I mean, celebration of life. Man, they couldn't wait for him to wake up. I had to sell my father's business, but at least that left me with a house and enough money to live for a while. Understandable. Okay, that makes sense. Of course, I'm sad, but the accident took more from me than my parents. In fact, being on my own has probably saved me. Yeah, imagine having to live with a grotesque creature. If they were still alive, my parents would never have allowed me to live with some strange... Oh, shit! Is that who it is? As I open the door, a bright voice greets me from the kitchen. The voice as beautiful and clear as a bell. Human. Okay, so it's someone that's normal in all of this. But what does that mean they are in the real world? Its sweet sound washes the day's cacophony from my memory. So it is Saya. Even the patter of feet coming down the hallway is music to my ears. Nowhere else in the city can I hear such footsteps. Only in this house with Saya am I so privileged. Okay. I have a feeling that she's not human. and her smile and the inquisitive tilt of her head is everything that I have lost. Since my accident, this girl is the only person I have met, perhaps the only person in the entire world who does not trigger my cognitive disorder. Isn't that a little suspicious? True, her skin seems too white, and the color of her eyes and hair are probably different in reality, but even so, her form is undeniably human. And it's not just her appearance and her voice either. As I bend down to take off my shoes, Saya wraps her arms around my neck and pulls me gently into her chest. Her skin feels truly human, not cold or slimy, and from her hair wafts a sweet feminine fragrance. In all the world, only Saya is pleasing to my five senses. And what's more, she smiles at me, embraces me. She knows that she is my salvation, and for some reason is happy that I need her. If I had not met Saya, if I had not been all alone in this twisted, filth-ridden world, I would no doubt have succumbed to madness. It is no exaggeration to say that Saya alone is keeping me alive. Okay, at first I was like, why? Yeah, no, they're answering all my questions about like, why is he bothering? I understand. They're really checking all the boxes here. I'm impressed.
今日は一日どうしてた？
今の模様替えもう半分ぐらい塗り終わったよ。で今
Ooh,
ね
she paints.
海のりの晩ご飯作ってるの。昼間テレビで作り方やってたから。
Okay.
そうか。
So
楽しみだな。
もうちょっと時間かかりそうなの。待っててくれる？
yeah.
いいよ。じゃあ僕は今の続きをやってる。
After I see the humming Saya off to the kitchen, I step into the living room. Oh! I realized one day that if the natural colors of the world were sickening, all I had to do was paint over them with colors that seemed pleasant. What does this look like in real life? I went to a hardware store and bought every color paint I could find, then Saya and I tried different combinations until we found one that worked. After painting the bedroom from ceiling to floor, I was finally able to get my first good night's sleep since the accident. When we first started it in the living room, Saya, unsure what to do with the curtains, just painted carefully around the windows. Without a moment's hesitation, I tore the curtains down and painted over the glass itself. There will never be anything out there that I want to see. And as long as we keep the storm shutters closed, the neighbors probably won't think anything of it.
ご飯できたよ。
こっちで食べよう。持ってきてくれるか？
As she enters the living room with a tray of food, Saya sniffs the air.
ペンキの匂い平気？
Now that she mentions it, I suppose the smell of paint thinner must be building up in this close room. Doesn't really bother me though. There are far worse smells outside. Oh, he smells it too? Oh god, does it... So yeah, I think it's affecting all of his senses then. Yeah, no, there was the touch. So yeah, sight, hearing, smell, touch. What am I missing? Taste. Ugh, it probably does, doesn't it?
さやは嫌いかい？
Duh.
平気。
I'm a little scared of her. She seems way too okay with everything. Saya sets the food on the table. Unfortunately, neither its color nor its smell is at all appetizing. Not that food elsewhere is any different.
いただきます。
As has become routine, I steel myself and methodically transport the food into my mouth. The taste is as gut-wrenching as I expected, but it's not Saya's fault. I'm sure she's made it exactly like the cooking show said. It's just that my taste buds can't accept it. So, yep, it's every sense. Everything sucks. That's so interesting.
美味しくない？
She asks hesitantly. It's funny because not recently, like within the past couple years, I've always wondered what it's like to not have any senses at all. Like, you lose all your senses, because we always perceive the world through our five senses, right? What if you just had none? What is reality at that point? But this is like a different approach that I never thought of. What if all of them are just horrendous? And could it even have sense correction too? Like, because I know if you were to look through like something that makes you see upside down all day, eventually your vision corrects, right? Isn't that what that's what your eyes do in general? Like, does your brain correct for it? I mean, would his brain correct for this after? I mean, how could it? Because wouldn't it have to base it off of something that makes sense? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see.
まあね。
Line will make Saya happy. She knows about my condition.
気にしないで。明日はまた別のものを作ってあげるから。
You know, that's actually a really good relationship. If you get like just to be like, nah, it doesn't taste good, but like, you know why, and it's like understand. Like, yeah, I know that. At least he's not lying. I don't like lying.
ごめんな、いつも。せっかく作ってくれたのに。
I'm just terrified of her existence in general. Like, she just kind of shows up and is like there. Like, she does not seem like a real human in this world to me. There's something off, obviously, but it could be anything. I can't give it a good idea of what it is.
いつかフミノリでも美味しく食べられる。
Maybe.
太るかもしれないじゃない。
Watch it be like something bad. Be funny. In my current state, eating is nothing more than an unwelcome duty. As much as I hate it, I need food to survive. At least you'll never get fat. If I stay alive, then perhaps one day, as Saya says, I'll be able to taste something delicious again. I met Saya, didn't I?
さやは食べないの？
私はもう
It's
食べま
us.
したから。
It's us. Maybe she never needs to eat. Maybe she's a ghost. I don't know. In all the time we've been together, Saya has never once eaten with me. I don't know why she refuses to do so. It makes me a little sad. I think he doesn't see it because she's his salvation. But this... I see nothing but bad coming out of this in the end. Still, I'm not about to push the issue. Not when she's putting up with all the problems I have.
そういえば、今日もう一度病院で
Okay. Maybe she died in an accident?
パパの？
No. Dr. Ogai Masahiko is Saya's father and her only living relative. Saya has asked me to unravel the mystery of his
やっぱ
disappearance.
り何も教えてくれない。何か隠している。
I mean, I get that feeling too, considering it was kind of spelled out for me. But you know.
そう。
I expected Saya to be a little more disappointed. More like she's
心
expected
配
that.
じゃないのかい？お父さんのこと。
そういうわけじゃないの。
Saya responds with an unreadable expression. She gives a little shake of her head, then smiles at me once again.
ありがとう、フミノリ。私のためにいろいろと。
君はそれ以上のことを僕のためにしてくれるんだ。
I thank her for the meal and set my chopsticks down next to the perfectly clean plate. As wretched as the taste was, thinking of the care that Saya put into it gave me the strength to finish every bite.
じゃあ、お風呂にする？
You know the lines.
また背中流してくれるか？
What? What do they do together? Ever since Saya moved in, it's been like having my own wife. Based? You know what? Man's living the dream. Yet, yes, like, everything else in his reality is, like, gone to shit. Nothing will ever be the same. But he has a wife. I mean... trade deal? I mean... Man... Okay, well... I shall... that'll be the end of the second episode then. Yeah... I want a wife.